Hi, everybody, and welcome to IDT 545. I am your instructor, Chris Street. I am a full-time faculty member in the Department of Secondary Education, and I also teach about half my load in the Instructional Design and Technology program. So, real briefly, a little bit about me. I'm a former middle and high school and college teacher. So, I basically, actually, when I think back, I've taught over the course of my career, elementary school, middle school, high school, 2-year college, 4-year college, master's level, and doctoral level. So basically, elementary through PhD. Most of my work has been over the last 26 years at Cal State Fullerton has been at the graduate level. So I am a faculty member in the Department of Secondary Education, and I teach graduate courses for middle and high school educators who are part of our master's program in that program. And I also teach courses in the Instructional Design and Technology program. So I love working with grad students and been doing it quite a while. I am a former producer at Yahoo. So Yahoo has all these different properties and Yahoo Mail, Yahoo Autos, Yahoo Finance, each one of those is considered a property. And I was the producer in charge of bringing to light a new property many years ago, called Yahoo Education. So I was with Yahoo for a while, and I've always been intrigued by new technologies and I've tried to use them in my teaching as best I can. So that's what this class is partly about, exploring new technologies, and it's partly about focusing on giving you some time and space to develop your instructional products that you'll be developing in this class so that when you get to the spring, you're ready to send your instructional product out for outside feedback from external evaluators. So the two big deliverables for the class, I think the biggest single deliverable is your instructional product, which you'll have done at the end of this semester, and you won't need to work on it anymore. You can make improvements if you like, but you won't need to if you do a good job with it this semester. And then we're going to focus on emerging technologies, the biggest being AI. So that's the course in a nutshell. What I'm sharing with you now is our Canvas course, and I'm not going to go through everything for you, but I do want you to take a look at the syllabus because the syllabus will tell you what we're up to week by week. You've got my video introduction right here. My office hours are Wednesdays from 5 to 6, and that's important because we do have two live chats, which are really Zoom calls. Both of them are on Wednesdays from 5 to 6, one early in the semester and one near the end. So I'd like you to plan on attending at least one of those live chats. And more on that as we get closer to them. But the dates for those are in Canvas and they're also on the syllabus if you want to look ahead. If you ever have questions or concerns, you can always post that here, and I will take a look at this forum probably once or twice a week. So if you have something that's more urgent than that, please just shoot me an email. I'm super, super speedy on the reply. Our library guide that is very much focused on the IDT program, and it connects you with Rachel Ryder, who is our instructional librarian. And she's also going to be providing you all with feedback on your instructional products because she has a design background. So that's a great resource for us all. More on that as we get into the course. Responsibilities for the course is worth looking at. How the discussion forums are graded is important. And then here, a list of cohort members and your areas of interest. So what I'd like you to do in our first week together is add your name and your current area of interest. And there's some samples here from previous students in terms of the titles of their projects. And then the authoring tool, I expect it will be Storyline for everybody, but you might also be using Rise. So we want you to have experience with Storyline for authoring because that's the industry standard. But you could potentially use other programs as well. So I will leave that open-ended for now, and we'll come back to that when the time gets a bit closer. And then every single week, and we have a quiz at the end of this opening week where it's not a hard quiz, it's just going over some of the basics of the course information that you can find here in this getting started area. And then module one is where we start to dive into the content of the course. And our first discussion is all about emerging technologies. And so that will be due on the 28th. So every single week, I will open up a new module for that week. So I'm going to open up the intro getting started stuff as well as module one. So you have that for the first week together. And then by 9 a.m. every Monday morning, you will see a new module appear. So I haven't made these visible but yet, but you can kind of see what's coming our way. Most of our modules are 1 week until we get near the end of the course, and then we start having 2 week modules to give you more time for developing your instructional products. And then everything is going to be due at the end of the course. So you'll be submitting things through Canvas. You'll definitely be getting my feedback on your products that you're developing at various points. And I would say if you have questions or need me, quickest way to get a hold of me is just to shoot me an email, and you can find that in the syllabus. If not, come by my office hours. I'll be there every Wednesday from 5 to 6, and we can talk about anything that's on your mind. So I'm looking forward to the class. I really enjoy teaching this one. This class changes every semester because the emerging technologies are changing so quickly, but we definitely have an AI focus, and I think that will probably be of interest to all of us. So no further ado, I'm going to sign off for now. And just don't forget in our first week together, we have the getting started at a glance area for you to go through at your leisure. And then module one with your opening contributions by the 28th. So typically what we do is every single module when we have an online discussion, if you are contributing to an online discussion, we might be using text, or we might be using our voices, or we might be using video. We'll be doing all three. If there's an expectation of a response where you're asked to respond to one or more colleagues, the deadline is always going to be on a Friday by midnight. And then any responses are going to be due Sunday at midnight. And if it's a contribution where there are no responses to others expected, then it's going to be a Sunday deadline. So just to keep that rhythm in mind, and I talk about that in the syllabus, and you'll see that when you get into our discussions, that the guidelines, the expectations are clear in terms of the timeline, but the rhythm is always Friday posts for discussions where we're interacting and Sunday for contributions where there's no interaction required. All right, well, then I'll look forward to seeing everybody as the class gets started, and I look forward to getting to know you all better in the coming weeks.